All right, guys, it's time to plant the onions, and I'm going to give you the facts about onions and how to prepare it, how to plant it, or anyway, at least how I do it. So, let's get into it. Okay, so you want to learn how to plant onions. Onions are super simple, super easy if you understand the onion. The onion is an interesting vegetable to grow. Some people have a hard time with it is because they don't understand the process and the life cycle of an onion. So to begin this video, I'm going to explain to you the process of an onion. A lot of people buy is what's called sets. Like this is not an onion set. This is actually a shallot. This is actually a shallot because I don't plant onion sets, so I don't have it. But I do have a shallot, so I'm going to use it as an example. You know, a lot of people, you go to the store and you buy onion sets and you plant them thinking that you're going to get a big, you know, softball size onion. That's not going to happen, and I'll explain to you why. Then there's the other way. There's onion transplants. So an onion set, this is year number 2. This is year number 1. This is an onion transplant. This is an onion set. This will give me a big softball size onion, while an onion set will not. And the reason why is because onions are biannual. And biannual means they're like carrots. Is this onion was taken out of the ground and it was temporarily put into dormancy, where when I put it in the ground now, a set that you buy at the store or at your nursery or wherever you buy it, once it kicks in, it's going to think that it's in its second year. And in the second year, an onion wants to create seed. It is not interested in creating a big bulb onion. It's interested in going to seed. As to a transplant, like I have here, that I grew from seed in my basement, my grow room, right here. This one here is going to be the first year, and it's going to want to make a big, big, big onion. So if you want small little onions for pickling like this, buy sets. By all means, buy sets. If you want a big, big onion, you want to go is with transplants. And I'll give you a perfect example of how exactly what I'm talking about, the biannual part. Okay, so here's the example that I was telling you guys between the sets and the transplants. Do you see that right there? That's a seed head. These onions are like the ones I'm about to plant. I planted them here last year and I never harvested them. Well, now they're going into their second year, and look, they want to put out seeds. So that means down there where the bulb is supposed to form, it's never going to turn into a big onion, no bigger than basically a golf ball. So that's what happens when you plant sets. All right, so this is the bed I chosen. I'm going to be filling up this bed right here with the onions, and I'll probably fill this one as well with onions. And what I'm doing is basically, this is compost that I purchased. This is not my compost. Sorry if the wind is a little blowing. Yes, this is fresh, awesome, awesome compost. This stuff is really good. Nice compost. So basically every spring, if I have my own compost, but this year I ran out, I don't have enough, is I just bring in some compost and I put about, 2 inches of compost on top of the raised beds. And that's basically it. So we'll move on to the next step. And also, guys, another fact that I forgot to mention is there are 3 different types of onions for your growing zone. There's the long day onion, which is for the Northeast. Like I am in Massachusetts, I can only grow, if I want big onions, I can only grow long day onions, which means that in the summertime we have longer days than in the south, or the intermediate between the country. Then there is the intermediate onion, which can be grown right in the middle of the United States, a little bit south, a little bit north. I don't have the ability or the know-how on how to make a map pop out in the screen for you. I apologize. I don't have the patience for that stuff. But, and then there's the short day onion, which is grown in the south. So if you are in the southern states, you definitely want to go with the short day onion to be successful. If you're right in the middle of the country, you could probably get away with both long day, short day, but definitely intermediate day. And if you're up north, if you're a Yankee like I am, then you want long day onion all day. So I figure I would add that in. All right, so the onions I'm going to plant are the Cora onions. And these, I did not grow these. I do have my own onions that I grow from seed every year, but I couldn't resist. I went to Home Depot and I came across the Cora onion, and I've always wanted to try these. I've never had a chance, I've never looked into buying the seeds from them, for them, and start them on my own, but I couldn't resist. I bought these. These are just as good as if you start them from seed yourself at home, but starting them from seed at home, there's an advantage, is you save a lot of money instead of paying what I paid for these. So the example is, and here is what I do. Let me give you an example. Okay, I go through the bunch, and you see the difference between the two? You see the difference there? This here I will plant in a different container or a bed, because I'll use this as a green onion, or, spring onions, or even if I want pickled onions, because you see how small that is? There is no way that this tiny little onion is going to make it the size as this one. So these tiny little ones, I will separate them out, and I will only plant in this bed big ones like this, and these I will put them separately in a pot or in a different raised bed, and and they'll get decent size, but they'll never ever become as big as this one. And then maybe I can pickle those. What do you think? Well, as the year goes along and summer comes along, we'll find out. And another fact that I want to point out into growing an onion and being successful at it is how you look at what is an onion. Is it a root crop, or is it a vegetative crop? Vegetative. It's actually both, but it has 2 stages. First stage is you don't need to worry about the bulb. Do not worry about that. If you do, you're going to fail. Here's what you need to concentrate on in the first stage of your onions. Concentrate on growing as many blades as absolutely possible in your onion. And how do you do that? Nitrogen. Onions need a lot of water and nitrogen. And I'm talking straight up nitrogen. Calcium nitrate, magnesium, just a blood meal works. You want, for every single blade, that your onion has, it represents a ring around the onion. So if you can get your onion to get 14 to 17 blades, you're going to have a really big onion. So remember, at the beginning, concentrate is on a lot of nitrogen. And I will be fertilizing as the season goes on. I'll be making videos, what fertilizer I use, why do I use it, how often I use it. That's for a different video. I apologize. If I keep going with this, then the video is going to be about an hour long. So we have a whole summer to go through with it. But the leaves, the blades is what you need to worry about first. Forget the bulb. Forget it. All right. Now let's get planting. All right. So the first thing I do basically is I need to add the fertilizer at the beginning. And the fertilizer I use, I like to use 10-10-10. For about the first 3 weeks, I'll use 10-10-10 to get them going. And once they're established and going, I will be showing in a future video the next step of fertilizing, which will not be 10-10-10. I will want to basically cut out a lot of these two numbers right here, the phosphorus and potassium, and I want to go up on the nitrogen. So, but to get them started, I use 10-10-10, and this is basically how I do it. Is I stay 6 inches away from the edge of the raised bed, and I just make a trench. And I'm just showing you a little bit. I make a trench. I don't use an exact measurement. There we go, just like that. Now, I will not cover this at this moment. So what I will do is, I apologize for that. I bet it should have been more prepared. But now, on the side of this trench here, well, maybe you can see it if I start here. I will plant. I don't want to plant directly on top of the trench. So I will go, and I'm only going about 1 inch deep and about 6 inches apart. On the side of the trench. 6 inches apart. And then I'll come on this side. You don't want to bury your onions too deep. About 1 inch is plenty. Trust me. You might think they're going to fall over. No, their root system, they'll stand themselves back up. But basically that's it. So the reason why I don't cover the trench immediately is so it gives me a visual of where the fertilizer is. Because you don't want your onion plants directly on top of this fertilizer. Well, there you go, guys. You want to keep I got it all done. At 2 inches. This one bed of onions. And now I got my rows where I know where the fertilizer goes. So, I mean, it's that simple. Onions are really easy to grow if you follow the instructions that basically I told you here. Super simple. Okay, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Onions are super easy. I will be fertilizing in 3 weeks. Be sure to check back. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button down there and watch the channel. I will teach you from this step to the harvesting step exactly how to fertilize your onions and when to fertilize. So guys, till next time, thank you for stopping by. Stay safe.